What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome to another week of Here's for Hire. This is Movie Mondays. This is where we talk all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally have a bit of a chit-chat about all things film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Sean Meehan. Sean, how's it going?
I am well, Connor. How are you doing?
You did this on Friday.
Is that odd? I do the same bit.
No, it's I say how are you and you reply like you're a robot or an automated response. It's very off-putting.
Yeah, it's like
strange.
I'm programmed to do podcasting or something. Wouldn't that be strange?
Yeah, the programming is broken.
He's stuck on bad joke.
I haven't quite perfected it. We'll get there. So this is Movie Monday, Sean, and it's been a big week in cinema.
Has it?
Yeah, well, the biggest week, I think, ever. What did we have last week? Last week we had Star Wars.
We had a lot of Star Wars last week, yeah.
We had a lot of Star Wars news. We had, what was the last one? The Joker trailer. We were inundated.
So much big news.
Inundated with big. And just like this week could be even bigger. Because
we're talking...
It's hang on. It's so big that we're actually not in the studio right now. We're doing this over the interwebs. So I mean, what we've done cleverly is using technology to make it sound like we're right beside each other. Sean, isn't that clever?
It's quite good. We've logged into Bebo voice chat and
yeah. I have sent you love. And
all of your love.
If you do bad in this, I will take that back. So just keep that in mind.
You can't take love back though, can you?
I can't remember. Could you take love back on Bebo?
I think once it was given, it was given. That's why it was so special.
Yeah. And you were like 12 and you were like, oh my god, I think Sarah likes me. She sent me love. I think I'm in, lads.
I Bebo'd all my friends, lads. We need to talk about this.
At the next group sesh. Okay, this has gone off topic. So this is Movie Mondays, and we are starting this week, Sean, with the biggest news I could possibly think of. Because as they say, start with your absolute strongest story, go downhill from there. And this week we are starting with a trailer. Is that not what they say?
No, it's absolutely not. But look, we're locked into it now, so let's just do it.
I said it with confidence, though.
You did.
So
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thanks. We're starting off with one Bad Boys for Life, Sean. This is one of the biggest trailers I think I've ever seen.
It's because you watched it on a very big screen.
I actually watched it on my phone about, I would say, 6 minutes ago. So let's just let's just get into this trailer. Have you made any notes on this absolutely spectacular trailer?
I want you to listen to this, Connor. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Hear that? That is the rustling
that sounds
of
like you
paper.
crumple. I have no notes. I just like to crumple paper.
But I found this receipt.
Okay, so you've seen the trailer, I've seen the trailer. You're so excited for Bad Boys. The last time we talked about this, you said this was your most anticipated movie of 2019. Sean, has that view changed?
Yes, it has. I have now done a complete 180. Yeah, I've done a complete 180.
Yep.
And now
180?
I'm not excited for this at all. I wish they weren't making this film. Yes.
Thank you.
Now,
okay.
A fair bit of product placement right off the bat in this trailer.
How could they afford the movie, Sean? Come on now.
Without that sweet Lambo money.
You try and pay Will Smith's wages with no Lambo money. I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah, Martin Lawrence just works for free. He's still on exposure.
Yeah, we'll pay you an exposure, Martin. He's like, that's a pretty good deal.
I can make Big Mama's House 4.
So where do you want to start with this trailer? I feel like we're already shitting on it, but I actually came out with this trailer laughing, so I'm very interested to see how you feel.
Yeah, like, this film doesn't look like it's taking itself super serious.
I think Will Smith is weirdly taking himself seriously, but I think Martin Lawrence is in on the joke.
But is Is Will Smith trying to be the straight man to nobody, if you get me? Like, Will Smith thinks he's in an action movie, but Martin Lawrence is just kind of doing what he's told.
But I think that's where this niche of this movie needs to be, though. Like, this needs to be Fast and Furious level of just, like, you're in on the joke that this is real dumb.
Yeah, this is borderline like 21 Jump Street, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. So, but 21 Jump Street is a parody of this. So,
oh God.
can they do a parody of the parody? Is like, I watched this trailer and the first thing that stood out to me was just like, Will Smith is like, he's the one getting all the cool lines. He's so cool. He's so handsome. My God, he's amazing. He's the greatest at everything. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then Martin Lawrence is clearly the worst at everything. And then the question becomes, see, they're the odd couple, you know what I mean? But Martin Lawrence would get fired from his job. Martin Lawrence would definitely not last in that role in the police enforcement unit if he was that bad.
No, yeah. Like, he just lets John Goodman punch him. Like, he just walks up to within arm's reach of a criminal.
Oh, absolutely. And he says he's going to try and talk him around for some reason. Do you know when the last movie of this came out?
It was Bad Boys 2, wasn't it?
I would assume so, yes.
Well, look, 2002?
Oh, 2003, very close.
Oh, look.
And the first one came out in 1995. So
Jesus,
every decade.
Do we get one?
Every decade gets it. Every decade, Martin Lawrence just getting more and more exposure until he gets to 80, and he's just the most exposed man.
He's pure blind in that camera sensor.
Okay, do you have any notes you want to get to?
Just that it looks bad. That's a lot of my notes, honestly. Because remind me again of Bad Boys 2. Was one of them, like, did they end off Bad Boys 2 being like, looks like we're not such bad boys after all? Or
to be honest with you, I can't remember Bad Boys 2.
Which speaks volumes to this universe.
I remember Bad Boys 1, but I think all of these are just, they get together and, well, the first one is very, they're just the odd couple and they gotta learn to get along. The second one is they get along, but then there has to be some sort of situation that drives them apart, and then for the last act they're like, we're better together, even without our opposites, which is basically the storyline of the previous installment. So then they came back together to win the second one. So I'm assuming they ended on good terms. With Martin Lawrence, I'm also assuming riding off into the sunset. I cannot remember that. Cannot claim. Someone's going to write and go, you can't remember Bad Boys 2. I can't. I apologise. Sean, have you even seen Bad Boys 2?
No, I haven't seen Bad Boys 1 either.
Have you not?
No, I've not seen anything from the Bad Boys universe.
Think of Lethal Weapon, but worse. But Lethal Weapon is good. I like Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon is like, can be fun. I love it.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon, but like a lot worse.
Oh man,
yeah.
Because Lethal Weapon, I like it because I like it. It's not particularly great.
Yeah, I think that's why Bad Boys has the same vibe. Like, you have, especially in 95, like, you have, in 95, Will Smith was the coolest man on the planet.
Oh, everyone wanted to be him.
So, like, you could get away with him being the coolest man on the police force, and he's the young, hip guy, and he comes in, and he's driving his Lamborghini or whatever, and he looks, and like, that was perfect. 2003, still good. Will Smith, still cool. Martin Lawrence actually is probably more famous kind of in 2003 than he was in 95.
Yeah.
And then the problem now is that Will Smith is slowly losing his cool. What do you think?
Will Smith is becoming more of a dad. Like,
Which he is a dad.
He is a dad, but now it's really starting to show.
I mean, he still looks great. We're not denying that.
That's true. Martin Lawrence objectively doesn't look as good as he looked in Bad Boys 2, which, let's be fair, was 16 years ago.
In fairness, he is 16 years older, and in 2003 he was meant to be too old for this shit anyway. So,
he's the too old for this shit character. Now I get it.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the dynamic.
But Will Smith
it's
is too
Lethal
young
Weapon.
for this shit. Okay, I get you.
So it's very action packed though as a trailer. I mean,
and there are some nice shots in this as well, and it's real. There's a lot of neon and bright colours, which I like in an action movie. Like, it's not just grey and green.
Do you want to know the one thing that annoys me about this movie is that it's called Bad Boys for Life,
but it's not the fourth movie.
The life, it has a tree instead of the E. But all they had to do was get to 4, and it writes itself. I'm just saying, lads.
That's all you need in a title, and then you have a film based around that.
I'm assuming that's what they've done. Is that not what they did?
See, but now, what's Bad Boys 4 going to be called? Because they will make another one.
Bad Boys for Life again, back in the habit. This time it's personal. Electric Boogaloo.
It seems maybe like too long for a title. Just putting that out there.
A lot of hyphens. A lot of
hyphens, a lot of copyright claims. Also, they do the bro hug in this, which is where you hug each other, but your hands are in fists the whole time.
How many jokes will there be in this about one of them being gay and that being the funniest thing in the world?
Oh man, classic lad humour, am I right?
It's good stuff, in fairness. I picked a bad example of a bad joke, but that is a classic, in fairness.
But there will be a lot of people thinking they're together. That joke will happen maybe 3 times. Okay,
I have also a new prediction for you. How many times will Martin Lawrence get punched? We have one. I'm going to write this down.
Confirmed.
We have one confirmed. How many times is he going to get either punched or pushed over or somehow end up on the floor?
Ooh. It's got to be like half of his scenes, surely. I'm going to say 8 times.
So you only have 16 scenes. It's going to be a short movie.
Or very long scenes. They're Birdman in this.
Imagine we went into Bad Boys and they just sprung it on us that it was going to be fucking Birdman. Since every scene is never cut. It just keeps going, just follows Will Smith everywhere.
In terms of Martin Lawrence hurting himself or getting pushed over, how do you count the fire hydrant thing at the start where he wears the car door off?
Oh no, I just count that as classic humour. I don't count that as... That's misfortune rather than harm.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah, no. What are the rules? It's just, you need one of them to just get the shit kicked out of him and the other one to be like, oh, this guy rolled his eyes. He's at it again.
The classic odd couple.
The classic odd couple. I'm very excited about Bad Boys. I finished this trailer and I thought, this looks real dumb. But also, I was not excited about this anyway, and I think it's kind of turned me the other way. At this current moment, I think they've bought into the stupidity.
You think it's better as a dumb movie than a let's try and be serious movie?
Oh, I could not give a shit about this movie. If I'm watching this movie and about halfway and I'm like, they're taking themselves very seriously, it's going to lose all its charm. I think it has a lot of charm if they're just like, look, this is 16 years afterwards, let's just do a movie, make a few bucks. But it could also be Zoolander 2. So,
oh God,
it's a very tough line. It's a very tough line to walk. Nobody wants Zoolander 2. Or
Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah, see, there's been a lot of these sequels recently, so that kind of makes me worried as well about a 90s classic that they remake.
But this is another, this is a Sony Pictures film, so at least it's not Disney.
Yeah, we have to support this.
We have to, otherwise Disney win.
Yeah, Disney owns everything, so we have to support Bad Boys. Everybody, find someone you love and bring them to Bad Boys.
Or just buy a ticket and then sneak in to see Lion King or something.
You don't even have to go see it. It's fine.
Give it your money.
Why are we... See, we're always trying to start fights. We picked on The Rock, and Jared Leto never gets let up. But now Disney, we're coming after the whole of Disney. That seems even too big for us, Sean, and we're pretty
Disney,
big.
Try and shut us down. I'd like to see you do it.
Halfway through you know what, Disney, try and shut us. Your just sentence stops. It just goes blank.
I go quiet and you just hear a distant...
just struggle. A struggle behind the mic starts going like wild, and you're just like struggling behind it, just like Sean, you okay? Oh fuck, that's weird. Well, Sean has gone away
forever.
No, they just replace you with a clone who just suddenly loves the Lion King.
Guys,
you know
Simba,
what?
am I right?
Guys, yeah. Okay, we're moving on from Bad Boys for Life. Oh, I keep making the number 4 on my finger when I say that.
It's because of our Twitter handle.
Sean. Oh yeah. If people want to follow us on Twitter, Sean, what do they go to?
At Heroes for Hire Pod for Life.
Do you want me to change that? I can change it to at Heroes for Hire Pod for Life.
We'll do it for 1 week when this movie releases, and then we'll never change it back because we'll forget.
Which of us is the Will Smith and which of us is the Martin Lawrence? That is the question.
Oh, which is the cool one and which is the fan
I think
favourite?
we're both Martin Lawrence.
I think we might both be Martin Lawrence. Actually, no, you're the police chief.
Yeah. The guy who's clearly on cocaine.
Yeah, just drugged out of his mind to get through the day.
Ah, yes. It's a classic.
It's a classic move.
It's a classic move. Okay, we're going to move on to our next piece of news. And this is about Terminator Dark Fate. Now, Sean, we watched the trailer last week. There's another trailer we watched last week.
Yeah.
We're actually kind of... I'm not even going to say excited. You were a bit down on it. But
I've been
I think it has a bit of
times.
fanfare. I think a lot of people are very wary. I would say wary is the word that people are kind of like, we'll wait till see it comes out, see the reviews. If it's awful, like Genesis, let's avoid it.
Yeah.
But I mean, because... So, the news I have this week is that James Cameron, we know last week, he came out and he said, Terminator Dark Fate is going to be the greatest thing ever. Correct?
Yes, famed liar James Cameron said that.
He did say Genesis was going to be the best, but he's also a producer for Terminator Dark Fate, so you would think he has more of a role in this one. He could come back.
As in an acting role.
He's the Terminator. That's what I'm hoping. But the news this week is that for fans who thought James Cameron would be back, lending his hand on set, helping out, the news is that busy with Avatar, James Cameron never even visited the Terminator Dark Fate set during production.
Oh,
Sean,
no.
what are our thoughts?
That sounds like a more hands-off job than a producer should have if they're trying to make a good film.
He was officially brought in to hash out the story and really bring it a bit of James Cameron magic. The problem is he was busy with all of his blue people.
He was busy with his new children, and now old robot dad doesn't get a look in.
Oh man, he needed all that time to make Avatar 5.
Like that, it all went into Avatar 5. Not 2, 3 or 4, but 5 is where the series really peaks.
And everyone who works around him is like, James, you're going to need to write 2 eventually. No, I've got to get 5 down.
Well, if we get 5, it's locked in.
It'll write itself after that.
He kept saying that.
He said it writes itself several times. I don't think it does.
James, you need to sit down at your typewriter.
He writes 5 and then he's like, we'll improv the other 3. We'll see what happens. We know where we're going to go.
Yeah,
Let's just see what happens.
He tries to improv in like a virtual world where really everything needs to be thought out.
Sam Worthington, improv, come on.
Jake Sully, come on.
Damn you, Jake.
I don't think that's
a
ringing endorsement of... It's not a ringing endorsement of Terminator Dark Fate, and it's not a ringing endorsement of James Cameron.
No.
I feel he should know how much clout his name has, and he shouldn't abuse that, if you get me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh no, I understand what you're saying. Like, even if he just visited once, that's good PR.
Yeah. Even like, writers' meeting. Go in and just be like...
But even to his pockets, sorry to cut you off, but even to his pockets, like, you will make more money if people who like Terminator read the news that James Cameron was on set in the Terminator movie.
Yeah, because like you get the diehard fans who are like, okay, he's having more of a hand. He had a hand in the first 2 and I really like them. But if you hear that he's all for it and he's signed on as producer, but then didn't even bother showing up or lending any of his knowledge to the production. That's not confidence inspiring.
No, because we've all been burned too many times. You've said at the very start. Like, how many... Just over 60% of these movies are bad.
Yes, and I feel like Terminator 1 people really liked at the time, and still I think people like it. Terminator 2 I think is most people's favourite in the Terminator franchise. I think a lot of people originally went to see Terminator 3 because they loved Terminator 2 so much, and they got real badly burned.
And I cannot imagine the disappointment coming out of 3. If you remember 2, 2 is like, it's a classic in all sense of cinema. Like, that's, you can go back and watch Terminator 2 today and be like, this is great.
It's still great. Like, it still holds up.
Yeah. But like, imagine walking into the cinema in 3 and watching the first 20 minutes and being like, what the fuck?
Going on?
What is this?
Rise of the Machines came out in 2003. That's insane.
Fucking hell.
Oh, actually, here's a fact. Domestic. Domestic, it made $150 million. And worldwide, it made $433 million on a $200 million budget. So it more than doubled its money in 2003.
And like 400 and whatever, that's massive in 2003. Like now we're like 400 or whatever, but like even then 400 is still a lot of money.
Absolutely. Like people would have killed for that. And Terminator 3
I like how we're talking like I like how we're talking 2003 like it was like a bygone era. Oh yeah, even back then.
To be fair,
back in the early, yeah.
That's 16 years ago, man.
Oh, for God's sake, we're all slowly edging towards death. Is that my phrase? I think that's my catchphrase.
I think it is. Bring it on, says I.
So Tim Miller is directing this Terminator Dark Fate, which we all seem to forget. Deadpool director Tim Miller, who has shown that with an R rating, he's pretty good.
He is pretty good, and he's pretty good with a highway scene, so let's give him that.
This is just going to be all highway, man. All highway.
It might as well be. Like, highway and forest.
Yeah. So James Cameron, the news is that he was brought on to like steady the ship. They even went back, the rumours were that they went back and watched 3, 4 and 5 to see where they went wrong and to go back to basics. So James Cameron is reportedly in on all of these meetings, helping them out. Now the news is that the closer this gets to coming out, the more dribbles of news we get is that he wasn't as involved as you think he was.
Is that a factor of him wanting to distance himself from the series, maybe? Like he's watched it now that it's been made.
But he came all in on Genesis, and that's terrible.
But is he still all in on Genesis?
He's the only man in the world who just loves Genesis.
No, lad, sit down if I explain it to you.
That's because he keeps confusing who Jai Courtney is with Sam Worthington. It's like, Jesus, Sam's after putting in a great performance here.
Look, the best of us make that mistake.
We made it about 20 times.
Before we were lovingly corrected.
Exactly. Terminator Dark Fate, what we will say is we are still in that zone of we've been burned. We have been burned. Let's just wait and see.
I'm not sure I'm ready to terminate again.
That's good. I would like just a 7 out of 10. It doesn't even need to be that good.
I think the first Terminator is like maybe an 8.
Yeah. Second one is like a 10, and then everything else is a 2. So if you could just level it out at a 6.
Just grab that average and work with it.
Grab that median and just keep it there. So we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is another trailer, Sean. Now normally we go trailer at start, trailer at the end, but I felt like neither trailer was like massive enough that we could end on it, so we're going to go Jojo Rabbit here.
Oh,
have you seen the Jojo Rabbit trailer, Sean?
I have.
You have made some notes.
Yes, where's my piece of paper? Oh, I've dropped some things, but my piece of paper is in my hand.
Of course, you would have to see the Jojo Rabbit trailer to understand what we're saying. Don't worry about it. It's like 2 minutes long. For anyone who doesn't know what Jojo Rabbit is, Sean, could you give them a quick rundown?
Okay, Jojo Rabbit is Taika Waititi's fever dream, where a young boy is in the Hitler Youth and his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler. But we actually get like some plot in this trailer, which is nice.
Yeah, a lot of plot.
Yeah, like it looks like it's a lot more. It's got a lot more heart than it on the surface it would. I don't know, give away. Because
that's funny that you said that, because I have written here heart, like in big bold writing. There's
a message in this, which just like all World War II films, the message is that the Nazis were bad. But
it seems to be the one rule that you kind of go with.
Yeah, if there's one constant in modern cinema.
Nazis not great.
Nazis thumbs down.
And Nazis thumbs out. And to be fair, we're behind that message too. So,
we'd be mad not to be.
It's good. Imagine this was the show. I was like, lads, right? I've been holding out on this for a few weeks.
Well, I think now is the time to say it.
Over a podcast.
Jesus.
I hope no future employers are listening to this, but let me just get this off my chest.
I hope someone's listening.
No, I looked at this trailer, and to think there's a movie that is basically just Moon Boy, but Chris O'Dowd is replaced with Hitler, and Hitler is played by Taika Waititi. This must be the most ludicrous idea ever. How did this get made, is the main question.
Taika Waititi just has so much good faith, I think, from everything he's done.
He must have literally walked out of the cinema at Thor 3, walked straight into the studios and went, look, I did the same day, and was just like, I'm going to do a movie about a dancing Hitler, and they were like, yeah, don't worry about it. They just counted the dollars. They're like, yeah, fine, don't worry, go on.
We'll just put your name in front of everything. In fact, how would you like to play the man himself?
Yeah. Like, this is a ludicrous idea from start to finish.
The concept of this is ridiculous. Basically, for those that don't know, the plot of this film looks to be that a young boy in the Hitler Youth really idolises being in the Hitler Youth because it's like having friends and being part of a club, which is also a big part of the Hitler Youth, and that's how they got a lot of people. But he meets a young Jewish girl, and he realises that not all Jews are bad, and it looks like he grows, and maybe he becomes not a Nazi.
And what's fascinating about this is I watched the trailer and I thought, this is a movie that is so out there, like it's so ludicrous, but at the same time the storyline is one we've seen several times before, I think.
Yeah.
Like this is a very common storyline of you have someone in World War II or a Nazi who starts to see the error of their ways in movie form. Like you see it's a common theme in any sort of World War II movies space. If you're seeing it from the Nazi side, especially, there's always one that's like, maybe we're doing wrong here, lads.
And to see it through a kid's eyes, conscience, like.
Yeah, and to see it through a kid's eyes is like, he's taken that, I would say, it's not a common theme, but it is a story we've seen before, and you take that concept and then you just basically just squeeze it around and just throw it around the wall and just see what happens. And he's just like, right, well, what if he has an imaginary friend who's Hitler? And then he starts having second thoughts. What if it's actually a kid and he's in Hitler Youth instead of a soldier who's starting to get second thoughts?
Yeah. I like the way that the Hitler in his head has his own personality. Like, he's not Hitler. It's an idolised version of what a young boy in that environment would think of Hitler.
Yeah, and he always says the worst thing you could do, because he's like, oh, that's what Hitler would tell me to do.
Yeah, because one of the things is like, what can I do? And the kid says he'll negotiate, and Hitler says burn down the house and blame Winston Churchill.
Yeah, which, Taika Waititi, it's a very thin line to straddle here, which is weird, because it was the 1940s, but at the same time, I mean, World War II is... It's it's a tough thing to go into with a comedic value.
Yeah, and every time Taika Waititi comes up, we always talk about Thor Ragnarok, but I feel it bears repeating that, the character of Thor that we saw in Endgame was largely like that's the Taika Waititi Thor. He acts like how Taika Waititi would write that character, but that is a comedy character who's absolutely gone through hell and is miserable,
incredibly depressed. He's just completely in depression,
and to the point where he's denying everything, and he's not engaging with it. So he's still writing that line of just serious subject done in a ludicrous way.
Yeah, you put your character in the darkest possible situation and then put the comedy around them. And so what he would normally do that for his characters, but what he's done here is he's put literally every character in the whole movie in the situation of the darkest situation. And then made the comedy come from that. Like, the comedy of, like, the Hitler Youth is so outrageously absurd. And then you have that little kid who accidentally sets a rocket launcher into the building. And, like, he goes, oh, no. And,
it's like, a bad time to be a Nazi.
Yeah, like, that as a joke and as a... shouldn't work in any way, but we're laughing because it's like, this is so mental.
Yeah, like
it's so out there.
It's so out there, it's so mental, it's so ludicrous, but it all feels grounded in some kind of reality. Like no one seems incompetent except for the kids, who. But
they are meant to be incompetent.
They're untrained.
But then you see the kid and he's just like, oh, maybe Jewish people aren't that bad. Like maybe they seem pretty fine to me. And then you get into the actual heart of the story. But I think the first 25 minutes of this will just be ludicrous.
Yeah, the first act is going to be lots of comedy.
Do you think it'll make money?
No, I was waiting for a question like this. I feel it will do really well on streaming.
You feel like a lot of streaming sites will have it, but the cinema will not be filled?
No, because I don't think it has mass appeal. Because people who like war movies aren't going to like this.
So, but like people, Taika Waititi's a big name, but I think he's a big name for us rather than people like. If you tell people, oh, that's the Thor 3 director, then they'll be involved. But if you just say Taika Waititi, I don't think that name triggers Thor 3 rather than the other way around.
Yeah, you need to sit down with someone and sell this movie to.
I think this could be really good, but also it probably won't make as much money as it deserves. But the trailer, I think, is hilarious. So,
oh yeah, trailer, like it deserves more than it's going to get. You're right.
Yeah. Okay, so we're very impressed by both of those trailers we've talked about today, Sean. Remember you said that the Bad Boys trailer was. Maybe. No. Yeah, well, Bad Boys was spectacular. Let's be honest. So, Jojo Rabbit, you better pick your shit up because Bad Boys, they're for life. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we're both Martin Lawrence. We just are. Okay, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and that is Tomb Raider. It's actually news that only came out recently. Tomb Raider sequel with Alicia Vikander is on the way. That is what is rumoured, Sean. Do you remember the first Tomb Raider movie, when it came out, and how it went?
Well, Angelina Jolie in the early 2000s was cast. No, this came out like last year, the year before. Was it 2018?
Yeah, 2018 it came out, yeah.
Yeah, because it was was it the worst films of 2018 on one of our lists, maybe?
Oh god, I think it might have been on your one.
Yeah, look, it wasn't great. It was fine. It was about as good as every other Tomb Raider movie.
Yeah, they're not normally done well.
No, but because Tomb Raider games are about exploration and platform jumping, and you can't really convey that, a 90-minute movie. No, and I think Alicia Vikander is good as Lara Croft. I think she does a good job at it.
I think she's perfectly cast in the role, and she's an amazing actress. Like has she an Oscar nomination or an Oscar? She's one of them. I think, did she win the Oscar?
I have no 2014? Idea.
I think she did. That could be completely wrong. I do apologise, but I'm pretty positive that she definitely was either nominated or won one. So, like, as an actress, she is amazing. She looks the part in the role. You just need to give her the right script.
Yeah, and every Tomb Raider thing ends up being kind of pseudo-mystical. And I think you could just do, like, I don't know, just have her go after Nazi gold or a treasure or something,
Yeah, it's kind of, they either go into mystical or she needs to get to a place to get a thing. and the bad guys also want the same thing. Now, that is the plot of most of the video games as well, but like the last Tomb Raider video game, like when did that come out? Like 2015, 2016?
I think it's 2017 maybe, but yeah.
Was it? But I thought, oh, that's fair enough. But like, I honestly think like that game itself is really good. And like, that's her origin story, so you can't really do that in a movie again, because I think people just kind of accept that's Tomb Raider, like Lara Croft, that's her story. People are already on board, they know the name, they're just like, fine, that's grand.
Yeah.
So you can't really do you can't, go on.
You can't do the origin, and also I think the films have a reputation of not being great.
Yeah. Didn't Angelina Jolie fight some robot dogs?
Yeah, she did, and then she plugged her iPod into a big robot. What's your point?
How much did Apple pay them for that one scene? If you were to guess, I have no maths here, I have no knowledge, but how much do you think they paid them?
$40 million.
$40 million. You have to pay Angelina Jolie's wages somehow. Look, I'm all about it.
Yeah, and you can't pay her in iTunes downloads.
No. We'll give you an album. You can have your own album.
Do you want a U2 album? You do, don't you?
Well, it's already on your phone. It's already there.
Can't get rid of it now.
So yeah, they are doing a Tomb Raider sequel. Where would you like this to go? Do you even know what you want in regards to this movie?
That's the thing. Like, I keep saying they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do this. I don't really know what they should do, because maybe just, I think you need to go in a different direction from the games, because if it's exactly like a game, it's going to be boring as fuck. Because a game is only fun because you're playing it.
Yeah.
So
maybe, like, I was going to say like some sort of spy thriller, but like not in terms of, I don't know, maybe she has something and she has to keep it away from the bad guys. Or like, it could be a heist movie. You could have a bit of a heist movie with Lara Croft.
Yeah, a heist movie, or I would, like a MacGyver scenario where she has to think her way out of things.
Yeah.
Not just let's spin on a big stick and jump.
What are you talking about? She plugged her iPod into those robot dogs. That's thinking outside the box.
That outside of the iBox. What?
That's not. No, that wasn't good.
That's all right.
No, it's going to be a no for me, dog. So I think, yeah, it's going to be coming out in 2021, and it's going to be released by MGM. So once again, we all have to support this, because MGM are not owned by Disney
yet. By 2021, they might be.
Oh, absolutely.
Didn't MGM
He's coming for it.
He's coming up. Didn't MGM sell off a load of their old films because they were broke?
Probably. Look, if you ain't Disney, you ain't making money. That's just the way it is.
That's a harsh life lesson.
Speaking of not being Disney and not making money, Sony CEO says that Spider-Man's return to the MCU is completely closed. He says the door is closed.
But is the window open?
But is there an extravagantly dug tunnel underneath said house that goes into the basement?
Is there a second window in that tunnel looking out onto a second tunnel?
This seems like very complicated. Why are there so many tunnels?
He's just Spider-Man, he digs.
Good. Or I dig him. So, what do you think about this? Sony, they've come out, they say, we don't need Disney. We are the big boys now in the Spider-Man universe. We've got Venom. Now we've got big Spidey Man himself. What are your thoughts, Sean?
Look, is there
the door is closed.
The door
is closed.
Them coming out and saying it, like, they're very much they're leaving themselves open to, I don't know, being the bad guy. If like, because if Marvel had said it, it would have been, you should have fought harder to save Spider-Man. But when Sony's saying it, it's, you guys shouldn't have taken Spider-Man. Yeah,
so the CEO came out and he said, we had a great run with Feige on the Spider-Man movies. We tried to see if there's a way to work it out. ... The Marvel people are terrific people. We have great respect for them. But on the other hand, we have some pretty terrific people of our own. Kevin didn't do all of the work. That is the quote.
I'm sure he didn't, because he does a bajillion other things. And
yes,
Did you see the DVD cover?
No, I haven't seen the DVD cover. What's that?
The DVD cover, it's a picture of Spider-Man on the front, but you know, they had to put a little quote from a news site at the bottom of the DVD.
Yeah.
It says, "No endgame for Spidey."
No, they should have put one. Sony's done it again.
Yes.
Classic Sony.
Well, at least with Sony it'll be on Blu-ray.
Oh, absolutely. We're flying it. I only watch my movies in Blu-ray. Oh, no. Perfect.
I don't have any Blu-rays, I don't think.
I actually don't either. I don't even own a DVD player.
No, well...
does my I have an Xbox. Does that count?
Xbox will play a Blu-ray.
Yeah, sure, why not throw it in? See what happens.
See what happens. What's the worst?
See what happens. I threw my VHS video just into the Xbox. Did not work.
Did it not?
Whole thing blew up.
Blew up. That's Betamax for you.
Had my 3D glasses on. One was blue, one was red. I was like, can't wait. This is going to be great.
Man, watching Spider-Man like this is going to be amazing.
Why does he not have... He's not in red or blue. I don't understand.
Where are his arms?
My eyes are so confused. So, yeah, they've said that the door is closed on the Spider-Man universe being still in the MCU. We originally said, this will be sorted out by Christmas. I think I even said it'll be sorted out by Christmas. They're being pretty strong here that it won't be sorted out.
They're pretty hardcore saying, no, look, it's done.
Yeah,
but I still...
This reminds me of Dumb and Dumber, when they're just like, it's done, so you're saying there's a chance. Yeah. No, honestly, lads, it's completely done, so you're saying there's a chance. No. Lads. I don't think you heard me or Kevin Feige or the 50 other CEOs that are talking. It's done. Just accept it.
Just stop. But here's the thing. I said it when this news came out that Spider-Man can have just self-contained stories. Because it doesn't matter, because he's just New York, you know.
Yeah.
It was never.
But I think a lot of his charm, though, ironically, came from a team-up movie. Like, his charm came from the seriousness of Civil War, and then you throw him into that.
That's true, but how do I say this?
Oh, as a character, I'm not arguing with the fact that Spider-Man can go off. He's done it in the comics for like 70 years. That doesn't matter. But I think people enjoy the idea that it's connected, that it matters.
I guess,
if I watch this, it connects to that.
And he's our comic relief then.
Yeah.
Well, you can get a new comic relief, you know?
Rhodey.
Can't be Rhodey.
No. Rhodey. Tony Stank, that was a good one.
Boom, you look into this.
Two classics. They're quotes that I always have. Put them on my tombstone. The man's comedy gold. I don't know. Who could you...
I think you can fall in a mutant or a Deadpool or some shit. It doesn't matter. But
yeah, maybe Deadpool. I think Deadpool will probably be the replacement if they're getting rid of Spider-Man completely.
I can see that happening. I think with regards to this story, I think it's better that they come out and say it rather than just not address the Spider-Man issue while Marvel is just going to keep announcing stuff and making stuff.
The irony of all this is that Marvel's two biggest movies, Infinity War and Endgame, the last few scenes involve him going, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. And then him, that's one of the best scenes in the whole movie. And then one of the best scenes in the next movie is him crying in front of Tony Stark's body. And he's only in the second movie for about 14 minutes.
Yeah, and it's going to be weird if they never address Tony Stark again in these movies.
Never. This is meant to be his father.
So do you time skip it 10 years? To where he's maybe come to terms with everything and people just know his identity and...
God, time skips are difficult. Tom Holland still looks 20, so...
That's
I don't know, and you can't recast him as somebody else, because Tom Holland is perfectly cast.
Yes, but he's the one you would never recast. Because he can do an older Spider-Man if he has to.
Oh yeah, I think he should be locked in for the next 10 years. You should squeeze him for everything he's got.
Oh, just work him to death,
Just work him to make him do all those flips. Flip again, Tom.
Flip again.
Tell us you're not feeling well. Just do it.
Keep flipping.
Flip as you tell us. I don't feel so good. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Okay, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and that is, I don't know if we resolved that, but I don't think we're the men to resolve the Sony Disney
I would
problem.
crumble in one of those meetings.
Yeah, whatever you say, Mr. Feige. I like your hat. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and that is Robert Pattinson. He has given an interview regarding the Batman.
Oh.
And in said interview, he was talking to the Lighthouse. Sorry, he's starring in the Lighthouse, I should say.
No, he was talking to a lighthouse.
He was talking to a lighthouse, and people overheard him on the beach. They went, "That's Robbie Pattinson. What's he saying?" In some sort of PR form. Is that Batman? So he was given a bit of an interview to Variety, and they were asked him all sorts of questions. And as you do, they mentioned The Dark Knight. But not only did they mention The Dark Knight, they also mentioned a certain Joker movie, which is coming out in the next few weeks.
It is.
And the news I have this week is Robert Pattinson's interview hints that the Batman could cross over with the new Joker.
That's interesting.
Indeed, Sean, because what happens is, this is a very interesting thing, right? So they're not allowed to say what he said. So this is all up in the air. But the interviewer has come out, and he said that towards the end of the piece, the interviewer notes an exchange between him and Robert Pattinson, and half of it has been retracted due to it being a spoiler. Okay?
Oh.
And so he says, at one point in our conversation, he offers a mundane comment about Joaquin Phoenix, who stars in the Joker movie. Before asking to... He also says he hasn't seen the Joker movie, but he says, oh shit. Apparently Robert Pattinson said, oh shit, before adding that he's not accustomed to thinking about spoilers. He says, I definitely should not say that. I'm so used to pretty art house movies where you can watch the movie 3 times and still not know what it's about. So the news here is that he's doing this interview, and he says some sort of spoiler about the Joker movie. And this would lead us to believe that how does he know what happens in the Joker movie if he hasn't seen it, unless some sort of studio exec said, we're going to figure out what's going on in that movie so we can tie you all in together. Sean, this is a conspiracy theory. We don't normally lead to this. What are your thoughts?
Oh, God. From the start, this Joker movie was never meant to be connected to anything. Right, and that's why Martin Scorsese was interested in it.
But also that was when they had Jared Leto. Lighten it up as the greatest Joker we'd ever seen.
When they didn't want him associated with it. Yeah, I suppose there has been a big mix-up with the DCEU, like in terms of what exists and what doesn't. I don't know. I don't think it'd be a bad thing. But I do think that Batman, like Robert Pattinson's Batman, might be too young for that Joker, if you get.
Yeah, because if he's a kid in that Joaquin Phoenix movie, which we see a kid at the Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
and
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is like making him smile and shit like that.
I said the Bruce Banner, it's the Wayne Manor, but whatever, people got.
Yeah, the Bruce Manor.
So it is Bruce's Manor, but I suppose, look, I think this. You could look at it like a conspiracy theory, like, oh my god, this is a big spoiler. But I don't think timeline-wise it even works. I think what's happened here is Robert Pattinson has been told what's going to happen in the Joker movie by Warner Brothers, but for no reason other than the fact that he probably just doesn't care.
Yeah. And I maybe he hasn't seen it, but maybe someone has just told him something about it.
Yeah, but then again, it's been retracted, so we don't actually know, because the Warner Brothers PR was probably there, like, take that out immediately. So it has to be something big about something that happens in the Joker movie. So maybe after the Joker movie, he turns up at the end. Who knows? Like, nobody's seen it just yet, so it's not out for another month.
Yeah, so I can just look. It'll probably be nothing, because we're at that point now where people are just looking for information in anything. Yeah,
this could see. I don't normally do stories like this where it's kind of like, oh, what did he mean by this? But like, I don't know. I read that and I thought there could be actually something to that. A lot of these conspiracy theories are just bollocks, but like, it's just suspicious that they retracted it, but it could be something as simple as him saying some sort of backstory about the Joker that hasn't appeared in any trailer and that they don't want to go out.
Yeah, and it could be as simple as, something that the Joker does in this film, or something that Joaquin said he would like to do as the Joker the one time Robert Pattinson met him.
I know what it was. I know what the spoiler was. I've just come up with it. He spoiled the fact that the Joker kills Thomas Wayne.
Oh, maybe.
That seems like a logical explanation, that he's like, oh yeah, you find out the Joker kills Batman's parents, that's pretty bad, and then he realises himself. That's a pretty nonchalant comment to make.
A team of lawyers just jump on him.
just start punching him. He's like, you're lawyers, why are you attacking me? I'm the actor.
And he says, the comment wasn't about the Joker, it was about Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
So, it could be anything. It could be literally anything. It could be the smallest thing.
It could be the smallest thing, or it could be the fact that he signed on for 3 more Joker movies or something along that line.
Yeah. Or he sent him a dead pig. It could be either. So
he said the Joker sends his regards. Actually, one of our listeners, one of our patrons, Raymond Gig, he was asking me a few weeks ago, and I remember him asking me. He only started listening to the podcast a few months ago.
All right,
and he turned around to me and he was like, he just turned around to me and he was just like, why do you hate Jared Leto so much? I don't understand. You're always at him. And so, because he had never heard the reason why this started on episode 1 for a weird vendetta against Jared Leto.
He's just a dick.
He's very quickly, this Joker talk has made me come onto this. Jared Leto, during the Suicide Squad filming, he sent Margot Robbie and Will Smith used condoms and bullet casings, and then during the table read of the Suicide Squad, because he's such an actor's actor, everybody, he's so powerful. But so he not only sends used condoms and bullet casings to his other actors, he then also went into the table read and he got one of his, I'm going to say henchmen, I'm assuming assistant,
a runner.
One of his the best boy. So he got the best boy to bring in a dead pig's head, and throw it onto the table and say, the Joker sends his regards, and then walked out. Once again, everybody try to remember that this man is just at work. And if if any of us send used condoms to one of our workers, we would be arrested immediately.
And rightly so, because that is not okay.
Not okay at all. So we're thinking, Jesus, this guy he's a bit intense, very intense. And then it gets to Blade Runner 2049, and he plays a blind man in that movie. And he decided to make himself. He decided to make himself blind with contact lenses for the whole of the shooting because he couldn't act blind,
which is fine.
He had to,
but when it ends up that you're getting other people to walk you around.
He had to hire an assistant to walk him around the set because he actively made himself blind for no reason.
No one asked him to. He's meant to be an actor.
You said that to me once. You're like, if you're an actor and you're playing a butcher and you just work in a butcher's for a year, you're no longer acting. Then you're just a butcher.
You're just being a butcher at that point.
So, he's an actor's actor. He's the greatest actor to ever live, Jared Leto. And we call him Leto. I know it's pronounced wrong. Don't worry about it. But that's just a random update for any new listeners since then. That was one of our very, very early vendettas. That's week 1.
And I think it's the longest one that's stuck around.
Yeah, I think it's Jared Leto and Johnny Depp. They're the double act.
Yeah, and I think no one would complain about us challenging them.
Oh, Leto. That's what if that's why there's Leto news every so often. So we're finishing off this week, Sean, with a bit of Star Wars news. Now we finished off I was going to say finished off last week. No, I think we started last week with the Star Wars news, but this is Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. Now 2 weeks ago we learned that finally Ewan McGregor would be returning to be playing Mr. Obi-Wan in his own Disney Plus series. And slowly more news has been coming out about the series, and now we have learned, we learned this last week, but we had already released the episode. What can you do?
Yeah.
The news is that the series will be set 8 years after Revenge of the Sith.
So that's Han Solo territory, like in terms of movie timeline.
I think it's probably, like, see, I'm not really an expert. I would say it's probably maybe 2 years before Solo takes place.
Okay.
Maybe?
Yeah, might as well be.
It's 12 years before the next one. So,
yeah.
Is it 12? So,
There's 20
whenever
years
that
of
is.
a gap.
Yeah.
And this is 8 years in. Oh, so he's been there a while.
Yeah, he has been in hiding a while, but not long enough to go full Alec McGuinness.
Yeah, so I think that, like, look, you get Ewan McGregor, you're going to use Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, and he looks the same now as he did in 2006, so you might as well.
Yeah, so you're going to have to age him up.
Ewan, you're too handsome. Let's age him up.
So this gives, like, this... There's a lot of stuff in the Star Wars comics about him looking after young Luke, say, just from a distance, keeping an eye on him, making sure he's not getting into trouble.
Yeah.
So, you know, having that in the movie, I'm sure there'll be an element of that somewhere.
Yeah, I think, so what I've read here is that Solo takes place 10 years after, takes place 10 years before A New Hope. So this is around that time. So if this series goes on to, say, a series 2, you could very easily bring in Alden Ehrenreich to meet up with Obi-Wan for some reason.
Yeah. Now in A New Hope, he doesn't know Han Solo.
That's true, yeah. Like, you could have a scene where they're walking past each other. Something ridiculous.
Yeah, they're in the same area, but they never acknowledge each other.
How is he going to turn, like, how is Ewan McGregor meant to turn into Alec Guinness in 10 years? That's a rough 10 years. That's a rough 10 years.
Yeah, that is tough. Well, I suppose the desert, the heat, the sand.
Exactly. So where would you go with this if it's 8 years? We've talked about this a few times, but in regards to the Obi-Wan, you want to just see him on adventures.
Yeah, just see him, like, cruising around Tatooine, maybe going off-world at some point, but I don't think... or even, I would love to see him just learning and just being like, okay, the Jedi...
Like a new language.
Yeah.
Oh, French!
Which segues nicely into this podcast sponsor, Skillshare.
No, not until they give us money.
Skillshare is an online learning.
Stop! They must pay us. It doesn't count if we just say it.
Oh man, it would have been nice though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
No, just like he goes into the Force and he talks to Qui-Gon and Yoda and all this, and just
you're bringing Neeson back.
I'd bring Neeson back for this.
Okay.
Like it's a mini series, so
yeah,
you can bring him back.
How many episodes?
Ooh, 8, 10, 8 or 10.
Definitely not 12. Don't go to 12 or 14.
Yeah, because that's like Netflix Marvel kind of length.
Yeah, that's a lot of sand. By the time you get to episode 7, you're sick of the sand. I think 8. I like 8. It's compact, but it's not like 6, so you're not like speeding through things.
Yeah, now because
it's
Star Wars, I can totally see him doing 9.
Ooh, that's good. And the 9th one is him fighting Darth Maul.
See,
again.
Look, in Rebels, Darth Maul meets up with him and he dies.
Right.
Like we see Darth Maul be killed, and it takes about 4 seconds.
Jesus.
Oh, it's really cool though, because Obi-Wan uses the same fighting style that Qui-Gon used against Darth Maul, and then Darth Maul goes in to do the same trick that he used to kill Qui-Gon, but Obi-Wan just knows it's coming and just destroys him in like 4 seconds.
Holy shit.
It's really cool. Look it up on YouTube.
That is really interesting, and that is why they will probably not do that.
Oh, because it was done so well in Rebels that you couldn't retcon that.
And actually, but that wouldn't work because Darth Maul appears in Solo, which is 2 years after this.
Yeah, so I can see it being like Darth Maul's criminal empire or something.
Yeah, he has to have something to fight, but it also can't be big enough that he reveals himself to be alive.
Yeah, he's just... you could do him as a Mad Max kind of wanderer with no name. Just doing odd jobs.
And we just want to see him fuck people up and just say hello there when he arrives.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of him fighting with a stick as well, because he won't use a lightsaber.
Oh yeah, it will be actually. And then of course he has to have sex with a woman because they give birth to Rey. So I mean, you have to figure that out.
You've gone wrong there, Connor.
No, what? Sorry, what was it? What happened?
Oh, her parents were nobody.
Of course,
they sold her for drinking money.
Ewan McGregor. No, it doesn't work. No Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh shit,
that's pretty good. Actually,
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I'll
that
that
works. That works. Disney, Lucasfilm, hire me, please. Oh no, they're back. Just like, you know what? I love Star Wars. Okay, so do you want to end there, Sean? Do you want to take us out?
Yes, thanks everyone very much for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We'll be back on Wednesday with an episode of Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero Zero, and next Monday with an episode of Movie Mondays. If you would like to support the show, we have a Patreon account. It's linked in the description, or it's patreon.com/here's4hire podcast. That's just a place if you want to help out the production of the show a little bit. It's really great. But you will still get the same 3 shows every week, even if you don't donate. It's completely voluntary. Look after yourself first. The best way that
absolutely
you can...
not. Give us all your money.
Okay. And then what you can also do is tell one person, one human being, that we exist.
I think last week I said unfollow us, and now this week I'm like, support us more. And this week just, no followers. Just confuse everybody. Most importantly, tell one human being we exist. You can follow us on all the social medias, everything will be there. But I would recommend listening to Madame Fatale from Friday, because I am really proud of that episode, because it's completely dumb. And it's, look, you want to have a dumb character every now and then. If you want to hear about a story of a middle-aged man who's real rich and real strong, dressing up as a granny to fight crime, that's your episode.
That's the one for you.
That is the one for you. So, yes, as Sean said, we will see you on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesdays. I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Sean Main.
And we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.